To be an efficient user of Zoho CRM, you really need to understand the layout of it. And there's a few things I can probably tell you here that are going to be really useful to get you up and running quickly as a new user. A few little tips that I think new users often overlook. So it's really simple to use. It's very intuitive. It's like any website, really. You've got your navigation bar along the top, and all of these items on the navigation bar are called modules. And if I click this button at the end, the three dots, it says other modules, and you can see even more modules which aren't actually displayed on the navigation bar because there's no room. So a lot of these could actually be turned off. We can hide these or deactivate these modules. And I would recommend that really for people who are using Zoho for the first time, because that's one of the things that tends to overwhelm people. There's just so much going on. It is a very powerful tool. There's so many features, but a lot of these can be turned off. To be honest with you, you will only really be working in the leads, contacts, and accounts, maybe deals, maybe tasks, maybe meetings, maybe calls. All of the rest after that really are, we'll call them secondary. They're not really going to be where you are working as a new user. So leads, contacts, accounts, and deals, we're going to look at these in more detail in a separate video. The one we're in at the moment, home, is like a dashboard. There's a few different dashboards and it's customizable as well. So it will just show you a kind of summary of different information. Next on the navigation bar, we've got this create menu, and that just allows you to create a record really quickly from anywhere in the CRM. You can create a lead, contact, account, whatever it is, just by clicking that. And when I click that, it would open up a form to fill out with all the details of that particular record. Then we've got the search icon. So this is so often overlooked by new users. It's such a powerful tool in the CRM. If I click that and I type something in, there's something I typed earlier, Brighton. I'm just going to hit enter. And there we can see all of the records that it's found that contain Brighton. So it's found something in leads, something in contacts, something in accounts. So that's really useful. We'll look at search maybe in more detail in a separate video. Then we've got signals. Signals are essentially our notifications. There's various reasons why we might get a notification in the CRM, but that's where they'll show up. And you, like many apps now, you'll get a little red circle that just indicates that there's something to be read. Then we've got our calendar. The calendar is really something that I wouldn't particularly use personally in the CRM. You can use it if if it's something that you want to use, if you're not already using a calendar. Any meetings that you schedule, that kind of thing, they will show up in this calendar. It is syncable with your existing online calendar if you've got a Google Calendar or any other kind of online calendar. Just to show you an example, if I click on one of the days here, that will just bring up, you see the schedule. It's just like any online calendar. Then we've got our marketplace. So there's lots of different apps that you can add in, or plugins you can add in to Zoho to work with Zoho. So that's where you would find those. Then you've got your settings, or setup as it's called here. So many settings in Zoho CRM. Again, people often get overwhelmed because there are so many things that you can change. But you will rarely, as a new user, you will rarely be using this. Probably the basic setup. You may go in here to change the fields on a particular module, but we'll talk about that in a separate video as well. Then we've got your personal profile. So you've got the avatar here, and I would highly, strongly recommend that you add your photo in here, because if you are working with other people in the future, it's just such a nice way of identifying each other and just being able to see at a glance who owns different records, because it will apply that picture that you put in there in different places in the CRM. So it's really useful. You can sign out here. You can see your user ID. You can also notice there are some options here to get help from Zoho. And if you're on a paid plan, as a paid Zoho plan like Zoho One, you will see an option here for chat support. Not every Zoho application has that, but they do have chat support here. It is very good. If you can't get help, or if you're really stuck on something, then I would really recommend using chat support. It's not available in all Zoho applications, but it is here, so that's great. The last icon at the end there is just a link to other Zoho applications. I typically, personally, wouldn't use that very much because I have all my applications linked in the bookmarks bar. Then if we scroll down, okay, Along the bottom, actually we didn't need to scroll there at all, but anyway, along the bottom of the screen here we've got another bar. This is kind of like, I would call this the communications bar. You've got a chats, you've got channels, you've got contacts. This bar along the bottom, at least this part over here with the chats, is actually an integration with another Zoho application called Click, which is like Slack. It's like an internal chat tool. This is actually really helpful when you're working with other people, that you can chat with each other from within the CRM. And actually most of the Zoho applications, if you're using Zoho One, have this feature along the bottom. So again, really nice, really simple, that you can just doesn't matter which application you're in, you always know where to go and you can start a chat with your team. Then we've got further along, we've got announcements. This is normally things from Zoho, things that they are just letting you know that they've updated, stuff like that. Ask Zia is, I will very loosely say that this is Zoho's AI, attempt at AI. It's getting better all the time, like all Zoho products are. They improve them at a rapid pace, but I wouldn't really use Zia very much. It's not very useful. Motivator is another tool that I wouldn't really use very much. It's very good if you're working with the team. It's like a gamification of your sales. But anyway, that's Motivator. And then you've got sticky notes. So I think we know what sticky notes are, but you can use those on Zoho CRM as well. I wouldn't use them because I would find it quite cluttered. We can just turn those off. But if you need to make a quick note and just pop it up there, you can do that. Then we've got, I think I did those in the wrong order, sticky notes and then Zia. Activity reminders. So if you've created a task for yourself and that task is due today, you'll get a little notification here just reminding you that you've got something to do. And then the recent items is just showing you a link to the most recent things that you visited in the CRM. So it's handy to jump back in. Again, I typically, these things down in the bottom corner here, I wouldn't really use very often because the search feature here is so good. You can just jump straight into whatever you're doing. I've just noticed one more icon here, which has been tucked away in the corner. This is the notebook. This is another Zoho application that's integrated in here. You can create notebooks. It's like Google Keep, something like that. So that's the navigation around the CRM, and we will look at each of the modules in turn and the specifics around those. Hi everyone, if you found this helpful, this is just one of the many tips included in my Zoho CRM New Users course. You'll find a link to the full course in the description below, so check it out for more in-depth guidance. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated on all my Zoho tips. See you in the next video.